Welcome to Fal Academy. In this video, we'll be exploring the new Grok Imagine image and video models, and I'll be showing you exactly why I think they're the new most aesthetic models out there. Jumping straight in, we're now on the Grok Imagine text-to-image playground page on Fal. For this model, all we need is a text prompt as input, and the output is an image. So I'll go through lots of examples to show what the model's great at, and in this example we've used the prompt epic fantasy landscape at sunrise, towering ruins and clouds, windswept banners, glowing atmosphere, painterly brushstrokes, wide cinematic composition, long exposure, cloud motion blur, volumetric god rays, matte painting style, ultra aesthetic fantasy art. So here are the results. Here's the first image we get, and here is the second image, and in both cases it manages to capture this crisp yet painterly look extremely well. Next up, we've used the prompt cinematic sci-fi character standing in neon fog, reflective armor, rain-soaked environment, dramatic backlight, volumetric smoke, anamorphic lens flare, slight camera shake blur, motion streaks from passing lights, teal and orange color grading, 35mm film still, ultra detailed. And here's the result we get. Now, we gave quite a detailed prompt there with a lot of different artistic directions, and it's able to interpret them perfectly. It's got the graininess, the lens flares, the teal and orange color grading down perfectly. It's very reminiscent of Mid-Journey style aesthetics. Next up, we've said, ethereal woman dissolving into stardust, flowing hair becomes constellations, soft gold and violet glow, celestial armor fragments floating, dreamlike lighting, shallow depth of field, lens bloom, subtle motion blur, ultra aesthetic fantasy illustration. Now, here's the generated image, and we can see that Grok Imagine does an insanely good job at generating these trippy and psychedelic type of images as well. Grok Imagine isn't just good at aesthetics though, it's also able to reason very well. So in this case, we've given the prompt long tracking shot following a letter through the postal system, from hand dropping in mailbox through sorting facilities, onto trucks and planes, through rain and sun, finally arriving in recipients' hands across the world. Love letters journey as epic adventure. And here's the result we get. Even though that prompt was more of a text-to-video type of prompt, it was able to interpret it and then within one single image show this letter's journey from the post box into the sorting station, planes, trucks, and finally in the recipient's hands. Next up, we've used the very simple prompt vaporwave aesthetic with pink and cyan gradients, glitch effects, and 80s geometric elements, serious anime girl. And here's the image. It's done a great job of capturing the vaporwave aesthetic, and it reminds me a lot of the Cyberpunk Edge Runner series. Now, these next examples have much longer prompts, so I'll just quickly go over them. Now, in this case, we've asked for a creepy, dark, moonlit forest with strange red lights in the background, and Grok Imagine gave us this image, which I think is absolutely awesome and very atmospheric. Next, we've asked for an Art Deco style image featuring a skeletal figure, a swimming pool, and a supernova in the sky. Grok Imagine gave us this image, which I think captured the retro-futurism feel extremely well. Here we've asked Grok Imagine to combine religious art with intricate sci-fi futurism, and the resulting image captures a deep dystopian feeling incredibly well. In this last example for Grok Imagine text-to-image, we've asked it to generate an image in the style of Danish filmmaker Nicholas Winding Refn, and it's produced this super aesthetic image which I couldn't recreate with any other model in quite this style. We're now over at the Grok Imagine image editing playground page on Fal. This time, the inputs are not just a text prompt, but also an image, which will be edited. The first thing I want to show is how good this model is at camera framing. So we're using this image here, this medium shot of this warrior character, which was generated by Grok Imagine text-to-image. And for the prompt, we want to change the camera framing. So we've said extreme close-up, tight crop on face details, shallow depth of field, soft bokeh, cinematic focus fall-off. And this is the image we get. It's kept the character very consistent and it's done what we've asked for, and the great thing is it's able to keep that very aesthetic quality from Grok Imagine text to image. This time we're using the same input image, but now we want a different camera framing. So we've said wide shot, subject small in frame, environment dominates, atmospheric depth, cinematic scale. So let's run this and see how it does. Here's the resulting image, and once again the aesthetics have been kept perfect and the character's also very consistent, and it's done exactly the wide shot we wanted. This time we're going to change the camera angle. So we've said high angle shot, camera above subject, subdued mood, soft atmospheric depth. Once again, Grok Imagine carries this out perfectly. Now this is very powerful because if you have a starting image, then in just a minute or so you can create multiple shots of the same scene, which is perfect for high quality AI filmmaking. Next up, the Grok Imagine editing model also excels at editing characters, even highly realistic ones. So in this case, I used this photo that I took of myself, and I used the prompt, professional headshot portrait, person is confident and approachable wearing a navy suit and white shirt, background is soft, neutral studio, lighting is bright, even, and professional. And in the resulting image, it's kept my face exactly as it is, and it's also adhered to the prompt very well. Now, here are some more creative results. The model is so good that even with such simple prompts, it was able to fill in the details perfectly, and it kept my face completely unchanged. The Grok image editing model is also very good at adding elements to a scene. So in this example, we used this image, this medium shot of this fantasy mage, and we used the simple prompt, add a misty mountain background. This is the image we got, and it's kept the woman exactly as she looked, except now we have this beautiful mountain background. This makes Grok Imagine very powerful for getting the exact scene you want while keeping the aesthetics. On the left, we took the Misty Mountain image and we asked to remove her staff, which it did flawlessly. And then we took this image with the prompt change the scene to nighttime to get the image on the right, with both the woman and the background kept consistent. We're now over at the Grok Imagine image to video playground page on FAL. In this case, as input, we have an image, which will be the start frame of our video, and we have a text prompt which describes the video's direction. What's very exciting about this is it's able to generate very aesthetic videos and also keep the aesthetics of the start image. In this example, we're using this start image, which we've seen before, of this warrior, and the text prompt is, the camera pulls back as the warrior magically powers up and clenches his fists. And here's the resulting video. Next up, I'll show how good Grok Imagine's video model is at scenic shots. So we're using this image here, which is the first example we showed in the video, with the prompt slow drone shot across the scene as majestic music plays. I've also noticed that the Grok Imagine video models are very good at generating surreal and abstract videos, more so than any other video model I've seen. In this case, the text prompt was very descriptive, but it doesn't have to be anywhere near this descriptive to get this result. So here's the video we get from this. And here's another similar result. I've also noticed that the model's awesome at generating video game-like content. So in this case, we've used the simple prompt, volcanic skyflight, ash and ember swell, rebirth meter fills, HUD shows rebirth ready. And here's the resulting video. Next up, I thought that this video was just too cool not to show, so for this prompt we've said, a massive dragon boss emerging from a volcanic crater, molten lava dripping from its obsidian scales, spreading its wings against a blood-red sky, epic dark fantasy game aesthetic, dynamic camera orbiting the creature, Unreal Engine 5 nanite geometry. Pay attention to the audio here because I think it sounds awesome. And finally, for image to video, I wanted to show how good the models are at lifelike scenes, not just animated ones. And also how good it is at following camera and lighting directions. So in this case, we've used the simple prompt, tracking shot, lighting shift to blue, no speech. Now we're on the Grok Imagine text-to-video playground page on FAL, and in this case the only input is a text prompt and the output is a video. For the first couple of examples, I wanted to show how good this model is at generating highly cinematic scenes. So in this case, we've used the prompt, person standing at viewpoint overlooking mountains, wind in jacket, clouds moving slowly, steady tripod shot, cinematic landscape realism. And here's our video. Next up is another cinematic example, and in this case the prompt is person walking away, briefly glances over shoulder, light catching face, subtle camera follow, restrained motion, cinematic tension. This model also does a great job at high action scenes. So in this case we've used the prompt, person running across open terrain, wind tearing at clothing, camera tracking from side, background rushing past, cinematic realism. This time we're trying a more creative prompt with a different style, so we've said anime character standing on train platform, train passing behind, wind and motion blur, steady camera, grounded cinematic anime realism. And this one came out just like a modern anime movie scene. Finally, for text to video, we have another stylized shot. So in this case, we've used the prompt animated figure walking toward horizon, monumental environment, dramatic sky, slow wide shot, cinematic animated scale. Last but certainly not least, we're on the Grok Imagine edit video playground page on FAL. So in this case, our video input is a cowboy walking through a hot and dry terrain, and for the prompt we've just said make it snowy. And we can see that it's done incredibly well at changing the scene to snowy and leaving everything else untouched. That's it for this video, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check the description for the important links, including the links to all the playground pages and the longer prompts we used earlier. For now, I'll catch you in the next one.